Hey, what is up, everybody? It's been a very long time since I've done a podcast, but that's not going to stop me from bringing you the news in the sci-fi world, or the fantasy world, or wherever. This is the Sci-Fi Super Show, episode 2 of season 2. Now, the first episode is not going to be on my channel, that is on Audacious Gamer's channel. And that's the only one that's going to be on there because a few plans fell through and yada yada yada. I can't really get into it. But anyway, let's get into the news right away. And you all are going to love or hate the news that I'm going to be sharing with you today. Let's get started with something big. Prometheus 2. Ridley Scott has now given the official title of Prometheus 2. Director Ridley Scott revealed that the title of Prometheus sequel will actually be called Alien Paradise Lost. That is insane. For one reason is that Ridley Scott said that this movie would not have anything to do with the alien xenomorph creature. He's been in numerous interviews where he has reputedly said this, and we believed him. We're going to take his word for it until he named Prometheus 2 Alien Paradise Lost. I have no idea what's going through his head right now. He even said that there's going to be at least maybe 1 or 2 more movies after Alien Paradise Lost. And if there was going to be any kind of connection towards any of the other Alien movies, or Ripley, or the creature itself, or whatever, it would be in like the third or last Prometheus movie. And it would have a small connection towards Alien. And now, he's naming the second Prometheus movie Alien Paradise Lost, which is probably the most contradicting thing that Ridley Scott has done to himself in the Alien franchise since, well, he made Alien. By that I mean, like, a bunch of decisions that were risky at the time, but not anymore anyway. So, I'm reading this article on Infinite Earths. So you can go online, search up Infinite Earths on Facebook, and follow them. They are awesome guys. So I'm reading this from there. Speaking with Empire Online, Scott discussed the sudden name change for the sequel, saying, quote, "Years ago, I kept mulling around what Alien 2 could be, as opposed to Aliens." Which I have too. "I was fiddling around with some ideas. I was always fascinated with why this thing, the xenomorph, would be made. By whom, and for what purpose. The planet it was on, and I was looking at the dark side of the moon, would be called Paradise. Paradise is a very ominous word." Now, going back to the first Prometheus movie, Paradise is supposedly where our creators, or the engineers, live, like their home world. And that's where Elizabeth Shaw was flying off in one of the derelict ships at the end of Prometheus. That's what she was referring to as Paradise. But the title is Paradise Lost. And not to mention Alien. He then assured fans that the title change has not affected the story of the film formerly known as Prometheus 2. And he says, quote, "In a way it is Prometheus 2, it's exactly the same story. But it was always in the works to be called Alien Paradise Lost." So he knew this movie was going to be called Alien Paradise Lost when he said that it would have no connection to Alien, which is probably the most insane notion I've heard. He's saying that that's not going to have any connection to Alien, and he just goes ahead and calls Prometheus 2 Alien Paradise Lost? What are we, the fans, supposed to think of this? Well, I guess we don't know, we just have to wait. Anyway, continuing with the quote, "Is Prometheus actually taking us off course from where I'm going, which is actually backing to the first Alien? I've even got connections with Ripley in this, but I'm not telling you what." Now, this confused me the most, because Prometheus took place many, many, many years before the first Alien movie. And even in the first Alien movie, Ripley was in her, like, early 20s at the time. Early 20s, maybe late 20s, 20s, along that line. But even so, it's still a long time between Prometheus and Alien. There's no way that there can be any kind of cameo or reference towards the specific character of Ripley. Now, there can be specific connections, not definite connections, but there are some smaller connections, and there would have to be some smaller connections. Unless this takes place like hundreds of years after Prometheus 1. Anything can happen, we just have to wait until more details come out. Alright, now, so what does that mean for Neil Blomkamp's Alien 5? This is very interesting. Earlier rumors suggested that the title change of Prometheus 2 would mean Blomkamp's movie would end up getting shelved, which I thought that before I read this article, and it got me a little worried. But Ridley Scott has put that talk to rest once and for all. Ridley Scott, is producing Alien 5 along with the directing eye of Neil Blomkamp, which I've thought about this for a bit. And it seems awesome. Like, we haven't exactly had Alien, or I'll go ahead and say it, even a Predator movie with that kind of partnership. Like, Neil Blomkamp has made District 9, which I'm a fan of, and it was a really good movie. And now he's directing it, which before I thought he was a good director. I thought he would be good handling an Alien movie compared to some other directors. And now that I'm hearing that Ridley Scott is being the producer for this movie, I love it. This is perfect. There's no way they can mess this up. But I know that there's going to be some way, because like all Alien movies after... what am I trying to say? After every single Alien movie after Aliens has been not great. There's always been something wrong with Alien productions. Something wrong is going to go in here. Something wrong is going to happen, and it's just inevitable at this point. It's happened every single time after Aliens. Anyway, here's another quote from Ridley Scott. The design is for it to go out next. By it, he means Alien 5. So it would be Alien Paradise Lost, and then Alien 5. This will go out first. It's more associated with Ripley, Alien 5 is. It's a completely different angle. It's more of a sequel to Alien and Aliens. Ridley Scott is coming in from the back end. So Alien Paradise Lost would be coming in from the beginning of Alien all the way past that, where Neil Blomkamp would take over Alien 5, that is after that. So Blomkamp is taking over the end, and Scott is taking over the beginning, which is interesting. I'm really, really interested to see how they pull that off. They're kind of pulling a George Lucas, if you ask me. And what are the chances that Xenomorph in Alien Paradise Lost, a creature Sir Ridley Scott admitted returning didn't really excite him at one point? Well, it sounds like he's changed his mind. This is a quote. "I think I have to go again," he said. "We will see who made it and why. That's what's interesting." So we may not specifically see the alien, per se, but we will see who made it and why they made it. And apparently it's an interesting way they did it, but if they were going to show that, they would have to show the alien too. There's no way they can be like, they created this organism that we're not going to show you, here's how they did it, and here's how it works, without showing you the actual alien. That can't work. You have to have the creature to actually make it a compelling story of how they made it, and why. And if he says that's what's interesting, then maybe Alien Paradise Lost will have the alien in it, which is getting me really, really pumped up. And honestly, you guys should too. And here's the last bit of this article. Will fans be watching the movie, a movie where David will be a disembodied head the entire time? Now, David, as I remember in Prometheus 1, he was decapitated by one of the engineers, but he was still talking as a decapitated head, and taken with Elizabeth Shaw into outer space. But Ridley Scott says it's going to be better than that, as he laughs. It's a very nice, big idea I've got. It's really great. You are going to have to wait. And wait we will until 2017. 2017. Whew. 2015, that's the year of the future right now. And even 2017 seems like beyond future times. Alien Paradise Lost starts filming in February and stars Naomi Rapace and Michael Fassbender, of course. And maybe a few other actors. Man, this information is just mind-blowing to me. Because the last solo Alien movie, specifically Alien, was Alien Resurrection, and that was in 97. And it was shit, but it was still, 97. Ah, man, by the time we get Alien Paradise Lost, it'll be 20 years after the last solo Alien movie. 20 years. 2017. But why specifically 2017? This seems pretty far off, especially if he's giving us this information in advance. And I wouldn't be surprised if in the next Comic-Con in New York or San Diego would show off a teaser trailer for Alien Paradise Lost. Not a trailer, a teaser. Big difference between the two. I'll get into that in a later podcast, probably. Anyway, that's all there's there. So that's topic 1, Alien Paradise Lost details. And my mind exploded when I got all this information under control. Oh man, I love it. I love it. And apparently, me and my brother have had this discussion. Alien, great masterpiece. One of the greatest movies of all time. It's my favorite movie ever made. But he, for whatever reason, with no proof of this, just a weird, outsided, really strange opinion, he thinks that Aliens ruined the franchise for whatever reason. I disagree. I do agree with the fact that Ridley Scott could have made a decent sequel to Alien, like with Alien 2, but Aliens was a good branch off, and it did not ruin the franchise for whatever reason, because no other movie tried to make it like Aliens. They tried to make it like Alien. Alien Resurrection was kind of a mix, but it was mostly that Alien feel. No other movie. It was only in comics and games. That was it. It did not ruin the franchise for whatever reason. I'm just going to put that to rest right now. Alien and Aliens, 2 great movies. Every movie after that, it just so happened to have a lot of bad luck and a lot of bad decisions. That's why every movie after Aliens has failed. Even though I like Alien 3, it failed just like the others have. And especially the AVP movies. Can't even begin to get into that. So, leave in the comments if you're watching this and feel like commenting whether you feel Aliens was the killer of the entire franchise or was a good branch off of Alien. I personally believe that, as a huge Alien fan, probably one of the biggest, that Aliens was a good continuation to the whole franchise and branched upon it and brought new stuff into it while keeping the original, or kinda keeping the original feel of the first Alien movie. Not specifically, but the whole terror was still there, kind of. Especially with the Queen. Anyway, just leave in the comments what you feel of this situation, and then that's the end of that. Next topic. Here we go. Speaking of old cast members of Alien, Sigourney Weaver joins the Ghostbusters reboot, which I am not going to see. I am not excited for this. I am not excited to go see this. Okay, first Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, Ernie Hudson, Annie Potts, and now Sigourney Weaver have joined the cast of the upcoming Ghostbusters reboot with an all-female main Ghostbusting cast. I will not go to see this because I have no faith in this. The first Ghostbusters movie, I feel like, was just a classic. It was a one-hit classic. The sequel was like, yeah, this is really unnecessary. It seemed like a one-hit wonder, and it was. For it to have a reboot like this is not necessary at all. Every living member of the original Ghostbusters movie is returning to make a cameo appearance in Paul Feig's, or Feige, or however you say that, upcoming reboot. Initial reports indicate that Weaver will be playing a character of Dana Barrett in the new movie. But this really makes no sense. Yeah, I'm looking at this article on Infinite Earths, and even they say this really makes no sense. Even they know it makes no sense. This does make no sense. Why are they doing this? This is one movie that does not need to be made. Have Sigourney Weaver forget this and go back to focusing on other good movies that she could be in, like, I don't know, some better written original movies, or even Alien 5 like she's working in right now. She's cast in that, I know it. There's no way she's not going to be in that movie. There's even rumors saying that she will be in Alien Paradise Lost, but whatever. We're not talking about that right now. And that's all for that, because that's all I really care to talk about that. Alright, so bigger piece of news, and y'all are gonna love this. Skull Island, the show, Skull Island, will set up, believe it or not, Godzilla versus King Kong. The show Kong Skull Island will set up Godzilla vs. King Kong, the remake, the American remake. This is amazing! Woo! I lost it when I heard this, because I love King Kong vs. Godzilla, and I love King Kong and Godzilla separately in general anyway. I love them both. I love Godzilla more, but I love them both. And when I heard that there was going to be a Skull Island show, I was like, that sounds like a great idea. I was going to watch it. I was going to love it. I was going to be like, all right, there's a Kong series. Sweet. Let's get ready for that. And then, last week, I'm looking at this on MovieWeb. Last week, we reported the surprising news that Legendary Pictures has moved its highly anticipated Kong prequel, or King Kong prequel, Kong Skull Island, from its new studio home, Universal Pictures, to its former home, Warner Brothers. The move back to Warner Brothers will help set up a new project, or, like, remaking a new project, King Kong vs. Godzilla, which will reportedly go into production after Godzilla 2, set for June 2018's release. Wow. And apparently, from The Hollywood Reporter, it revealed that Kong Skull Island will actually help set up Godzilla vs. King Kong, which references to 2014's Godzilla. So, Legendary's giant-ass Godzilla is gonna be referenced, and it's gonna be back fighting King Kong! Woo! Oh man, I am so excited for this movie. I'm almost excited for this as I am for the other two Alien movies, quite to be honest. Because I love giant monsters fighting each other and Godzilla blasting lasers and destroying mountains. Or not mountains, buildings. I'm sorry. I'm too excited to form words right. Oh man, I am so excited for this. King Kong is said to be much, much smaller than Godzilla, which Universal would often acknowledge. And maybe one of the reasons they ultimately passed on the project, causing Legendary's Thomas Tull to take it back to Legendary's former studio home, Warner Brothers. One One Universal source claimed executives made funny comments that King Kong needed to be the size of the Empire State Building to fight Godzilla. And he does. Have you seen Godzilla's strength and size and firepower? Yeah. There's no contest. Instead of hanging off it, yeah. So, they need to somehow make King Kong a lot bigger than he's going to be for this fight. And I have a feeling they can pull it off. Not in a realistic way, obviously, because it's giant monsters fighting. But they can find some way to do it that's better than the original King Kong versus Godzilla. Let's see. I'm still looking at the article here. Seeing if there's anything... here we go. Kong Skull Island, the show, the TV series, is set to hit... Wait. Never mind. Apparently, I was completely wrong. I thought that... Wow, okay. I thought that Kong Skull Island was a TV series. It's not. It's a movie. Alright. So, I'm sorry if I gave you guys the wrong idea here, but I was completely wrong. I just read here, it's not a TV series. Whew, man, that kind of sucks. Man, it would be a good idea if it was a TV series. But anyway, it's a movie, alright. Kong Skull Island will set to hit theaters March 10th, 2017. The exact same year as Alien Paradise Lost. What a year! While Godzilla 2 has a June 2nd, 2018 release already set. Gareth Edwards is returning to direct Godzilla 2 from a script by Max Borenstein, although it isn't confirmed which cast members are coming back for this follow-up. Are you excited to see how Kong Skull Island will set up King Kong vs. Godzilla? Yes, I am! I am so excited, and I know you, listening, are very excited. How could you not be excited for this? It's American-made King Kong, as big as the Empire State Building, fighting the American legendary Godzilla that we saw in 2014. I am pumped. I am beyond pumped. I cannot wait for this to come out. And that is all the topics I have laid out on here. I'm going to do a small recap on Facebook and see if there's anything else to see. And if there is, I will absolutely let you guys know. Scrolling through Facebook. If you guys are still listening to this, then thank you very much. Alright, here we go. I am not seeing much. Actually, let me go to Infinite Earths. I'm going to Infinite Earth's Facebook page, and I'm going to see if they have any topics that I missed. There's new Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. clips, which will be covering a lot of Inhumans, which is good. Legends of Tomorrow adds new cast member. 2 more join Skull Island. Let's go ahead and check that out. 2 more cast members join Skull Island. Oh yeah, John Goodman. Known for roles in Roseanne, The Flintstones, The Big Lebowski, Community, and Going Under, will play Rhonda, a government official who leads the expedition to Skull Island. And we have Thomas Mann. What a name, Thomas Mann, who recently appeared in Me and Earl and The Dying Girl in Project X. His role in the film is unknown. Yep. So John Goodman and Thomas Mann are the 2 most recent actors to be announced for Skull Island. Let's keep going, shall we? A Men in Black rebooting may happen. Whoop-de-doo. Independence Day resurgence against prequel comic. Not a Independence Day fan. The Maniacs are coming in new Gotham trailer. Couldn't have butchered that sentence anymore. I remember seeing that there was an interesting one here. Here we go. Colin Trevorrow talks Jurassic World future. Now, I know I've talked way too much about Jurassic World in Season 1. But I guess we're going to now be talking about Jurassic World 2. Okay, here's what Colin Trevorrow says. This is a quote. Honestly, the trilogy is articulated in Jurassic Park. It's all in there. Jurassic World is all based on Ian Malcolm's quote. You stood on the shoulders of geniuses to accomplish something as fast as you could, and before you knew what you had, you patented it, packaged it, and slapped it on the plastic lunchbox, and now you want to sell it. You sell it. That, to me, is Jurassic World. And that's why I had the product placement, and that's what it is. It was. Sorry. I love that quote. Love it quote. It makes perfect sense for this. And there's a second quote. Or, hold on, not a second quote. The second movie, Jurassic World 2, and as we were driving, hold on. And as we were driving, we tried to find what is the foundation. Oh, now this is the quote by Alan Grant, Sam Neill in the first movie. Dinosaurs and man, separated by 65 million years of evolution, have been thrown back into the mix together. How can we know what to expect? That's why it's exciting that the movie did well. That leaves us a lot of room to run, not to mention over many billions of dollars in profit. And it was part of this design. It had a beginning, middle, and end where we wrote the first movie. Now that the movie... Okay, hold on. Now that the movie did well, we get to play that out. Huh. I actually have not read this article before. And that seems to be it. Oh, here we go. Jurassic World 2 will stomp into theaters on June 22nd, 2018. Whoa. 2? There's 2 June 2018 movies? Jurassic World 2 in 2018 on June 22nd, and Godzilla 2 on June 2nd, 2018. Whoa, those are going to be competing for box office monies. Oh, that's not good. And I think that Jurassic World 2 is going to beat it, sadly. Huh. That doesn't bode well for Godzilla. See, they need to try and work out some... I guess they really can't work out sometimes to move their dates, but... They should have moved it to a different month. Godzilla 2 probably should have been like a lot earlier in the year. Jurassic World could have just stayed there. Feel bad for Godzilla 2. Oh well. Anyway, that is all for this episode. I think I've wasted everybody's time enough. Yep. So Skull Island, Sigourney Weaver going back into Ghostbusters, and Alien... Paradise Lost, and Alien 5. That is all for this episode of the Sci-Fi Super Show, Episode 2, Season 2. I hope you guys love this series and like, comment, and subscribe. Favorite where you see fit. And just come back, hang out, check out a few of my other videos. I won't be getting back into animation for a while. I have a bunch of work to do here. The only time I have is to make this podcast. So, for now, I bid you all well, and have a nice sci-fi filled day. See you later.